Well, the theme of our meeting is getting out of your comfort zone. And that really applies to me, as I was working industrial security when my youngest son went in the Navy. And being a single dad for 3 boys and a girl, after I sent him off, it was just too quiet in the house. So I decided to expand and get out of my comfort zone.
My biggest fear coming out on the road was leaving my family, and then being thousands of miles away from home is a scary experience at first. I'd never been more than a few hundred miles from home at that time without some family members with me, so being out here by myself, well, it was a little scary at first.
Leaving offshore drilling, coming to trucking, it was really nerve-wracking. I started there when I was 20 years old, left when I was 44, 42, and then starting my childhood dream this late in my life, I was very nervous.
In the beginning, in coming to Prime, I went through PSD, which taking my permit test, which was a struggle, being that I hadn't cracked a book in over 30 years.
Coming from something that I was familiar with and coming into something different that I knew nothing about, but I knew I wanted to do it, I was just scared to death trying to leave something that I was more familiar with and jumping into something that I had no clue with.
You literally live in a very small, confined area, and you don't know this person at first. So, you don't know if this person likes leaving their dirty clothes laying around or leave their trash out and stuff. So it's a little learning curve right at the beginning. Best thing is to go ahead and get some ground rules down to begin with and just try to make the best of it. It can be very difficult living with another person in a real tight, confined area. You don't have a lot of space, so you're going to be best friends with that person by the time it's over with, or worse enemies, one or the other. It can be very difficult. You don't get a lot of personal room, so you've got to be mindful of that. It's you're sleeping in bunk beds with 2 grown men or 2 grown women or whatever the case may be.
Still like to run and jog and stuff. At this stage of the game, it's jogging, not running. And that's kind of hard to do on a regular basis out here. So when I, go places and stop, I'll at least get some kind of walking in, depending on where I am. I've been told some neighborhoods are not so good to hike around, because truck stops will catch you if you're not careful. You walk in and there's donuts, there's cakes, there's this, there's that. And nobody loves fried food more than me, but you just have to be real careful.
When I first come out on the road, my health really did suffer a lot. Didn't have a lot of money to spend on a lot of things. I was sending everything I could back home to my wife and children. So I was living on basically Roman noodle soup. Found out real quick, you can't do that. There's not much nutrients in it. So started doing the 2 for $2 hot dogs, stuff like that. Health really took a hit. In the first 2 or 3 years, I gained about 60 pounds. And I didn't notice it until one Easter at home. All the family was over taking pictures, and then I got to looking on Facebook. I'm like, okay, got to do something now. Did not realize that. So started exercising and got some pointers from a gentleman here at Prime that heads up the division there, and hadn't turned back. Try to watch the weight now.
But I mostly just love being home, working around the yard, playing with the kids, the grandkids. And that's the amazing thing, that it makes you feel good that when you're done as a parent, if your kids and grandkids still want you around, you must have done something right.
It seems like as I get older, it's getting tougher and tougher to be out away from the family. Going home, it's harder to come back out on the road, seeing the grandkids. I know my children I was gone all their lives. Now, being away from my grandchildren growing up, it's tough, but it's something I got to do. As they get older, they keep telling me, asking me, when you coming home, Pawpaw? And the more they ask me, I usually wind up changing my home time a little earlier, because I just want to spend time with my grandkids.
That's good.
My 8-year-old grandson started his Pee Wee football this year, and every time I come home, because the little truck stop I stay at, about 1.5 miles from the house, I walk home. Every time he knows I'm coming, he's sitting on his front porch with his football in his hand. So I have no time to shower, do my clothes, whatever. It's time to play football. So that makes it really tough as well, because time just doesn't wait, and you cherish every moment.
Technology has helped us a lot with the home life. I have FaceTime with the kids. Every night we have a ritual. We say our prayers together before bed. It just helps me stay connected with them a little bit. I have a video gaming system on the truck, and even though I'm not too good with it, my son still likes to get on there and play with me when we have the extra time. Little stuff like that really goes a long way to stay connected with the family.
My girlfriend, she's my co-driver. She drives days, I drive nights. I was solo for years before she come on board, and life out here on the road was lonesome, tough. And now that I have her on the road with me, life's become a little bit easier to deal with. Sitting in the truck stop while I was running solo, there was several holidays that I've spent alone. Couldn't get back home. I was either caught under a load, or I was on my way to get a load and got hung up and had to stay out on the road. But it's just it's something that we have to deal with, and without strong support back home, you can't handle it out here.
Now, my normal work schedule is usually 4 to 5 weeks out, 4 to 5 days off. And just let me say honestly, I would not have done this if I still had young kids at home. This job, though, has provided me an avenue where I can provide extras for them. And that really means a lot. And they always are very thankful, and it just seems like there's nothing better than grandkids' hugs. Is it worth it? Yes, it is.